Coach, before we get to questions, can you just start us off with your thoughts on last week's game against Texas State and the upcoming game against Georgia State?
We're really excited to win, and thought we played really good, and to go on the road and win in the conference is hard, and especially, against a really good Texas State team. It was a great game, and, we were fortunate. It was back and forth, really. We were fortunate there, and toward the end of the third quarter, we got a big turnover deep in Texas State territory and scored and had a stop and then had about a 30-yard punt return to set us up again. So we're fortunate enough to create a little bit of space because, it was very, very competitive and back and forth for at least the first three quarters, and just a really good football game. And we're excited to come out winning, and I thought we played really good. And so going to moving forward to Georgia State, really been impressed with them, especially the last 2 weeks, and what they did against Charlotte and what they did last week against Coastal Carolina. And it seemed like they're really playing at a high level the last couple of weeks, and starting with Manning, with their quarterback, who I was really impressed with last year. We all were. Really good player, can make all the throws, and when he's on too, he's really good, and he's really been on the last several weeks, and been impressed with Penny Hart. Heard a lot about him last year. We all did, and I know he didn't get to play last year, but his reputation from the year before was very good, and I can see why. He's come out, and I think he's tops and right at the top in yards, in catches and yards per game. And the other guy that really concerns us offensively is number 88, the tight end, and I think he's really playing good. I know last year they had 45, who was really good, and this kid here is every bit as impressive in terms of what they're doing. And defensively, they really settled in to their odd front and what they're doing, and have played really good defense. Have a shutout, from the previous week against Charlotte, and then last week did a really good job against, really good Coastal Carolina team. So we're excited to come home. It's homecoming, and we're excited to play at home, but obviously another extremely tough test for us, and we'll have to play good to have a chance.
Well, Coach, your passing game seemed to take a big jump last week against Texas State. Why do you think it was so successful?
I think we executed really well, and our receivers made good catches and had yards after catch, and some of it was really dictated by what Texas State was doing. They did a nice job against our run game and committed extra guys in there, and we were able to throw it on the outside. So I think that's the biggest key is, what Texas State was doing, and then our ability. All that's good, but you have to execute, and we executed at a really high level last week, going and catching the ball.
Coach, what did it mean to see your team come out in the second half and really dominate that second half after a close-played first half?
Well, I think we settled in and started and played better on defense, and but give Texas State credit. I thought they played really good on offense and were, and we're making plays. But we started playing better, or having more stops defensively, I think, because Texas State shut us down in the third quarter, but we were able to shut them down. And then finally, like I said, I thought the turning point of the game is we got a turnover. I think we were up 6, and then went in and scored. That put us up 13, and then we had about a 30-yard punt return that set us up again. So, but, it was, I think, really the matter, really our defense and what we did defensively and special teams, which kind of enabled us to have a little separation, because it was definitely back and forth for a long time.
Coach, finally, Georgia State defensively, poses a lot of problems with their secondary. What's really the key in attacking their defense from your offensive standpoint?
Well, I think you have to, we're going to have to be patient. We're certainly going to have to take shots, but be patient, because they're in great position. That's one thing they do. They don't beat themselves. They're in great position, and their front guys are really good. And then Chandler, I think 10, whatever the boundary corner, is really good, and he was really good last year. So I think we're going to have to certainly pick our spots, but we're going to have some patience, because they don't get out of position. You don't get anything cheap on them, and so we'll have to have some patience and try to move the chains.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for your time this morning. We appreciate it as always.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.